was actually quite staggering and quite astounding. We saw that his heart rate during the launch phase was averaging around 60 beats per minute.
So as he was going off from the ground?
As he was ascending from the ground. And his breathing rate was about 12 to 14 beats per minute. Now, if I can put that into some kind of context, for a 43-year-old person, male like Felix is, your average resting heart rate for a fit 43-year-old would be around 60 beats per minute. But Felix was actually carrying over 30 kilograms of equipment on his back, and was also, obviously the adrenaline and the rush and the pressure and the nervousness. And still he was able to maintain that level of heart rate. So amazing physiology at that point. When he actually got to the first third of his free fall, the first thing we saw was his heart rate was hovering between 160 and 180 beats per minute. That's actually including when he was spinning as well. Right. So the data from the spin was very useful as well, and something that everyone I know wants to hear about.
And 180 is what a middle-aged man would get to during exercise.
Absolutely. So you'd expect the maximum heart rate for someone of Felix's age to be about 180 for someone who's that fit.
When people go out and do running or some exercise, they often wear a heart monitor. This is the one that you produced for Felix. This is the kind of thing that he would have been wearing.
Absolutely.
So he puts it on, he wears it around his body, and then what? I mean, is this uncomfortable for him to wear? Is it just another piece of equipment that he's...
Well, during the selection phase of actually which monitoring system, which physiological monitoring system they would use, they went through a number of different variants, and there were some key factors they were trying to make sure would be prevalent. The first was comfort. So they obviously of utmost importance is that Felix would not have any obtrusive equipment that would stop him performing.
It's nice and soft.
Absolutely. It's actually been specifically designed, so it's patented fabrics and textiles, so it's actually fit against the body.
And inside the belt, then you have these little monitors here. What do they actually measure? Is it just two of them, or how many of them are there?
No, so it'd just be one monitor would clip into there, and that would fit into the pocket like so. And effectively, that in its own can measure clinical grade ECG, so 2 leads of ECG.
ECG?
ECG is basically the heart waveforms. So when you go to an ER, you see the waveforms on the big monitors. That would be your ECG.
Yeah.
That can give you heart rate. It could give you breathing rate and breathing effort. It could give you 2 different types of skin temperature. It also has internal triaxis accelerometer, so it could give you body position, body movement, posture, and from that then you could deduce a number of different indexes: stress, physical fatigue, activity, fitness.
So you've worked out that he's cool under pressure.
Yes.
But presumably you want other information as well, the particular stresses that his body was under, for other purposes.
Well, yes. What you're looking at is you're looking at saying, how do I contextualize this data? Now, what that means is, how do I combine the data that our systems are collecting with environmental data, with equipment data, and with other sensor data from around his shuttle and his spacesuit, so that you could get a true picture of how his body was transforming, adapting, and performing in comparison to the different stresses and strains he was going through, whether that be breaking the sound barrier at 833 miles per hour, or whether that be going through launching and having the nervousness of preparing for that launch.